So you want to spend hours rolling on the floor with sweaty people trying to hug you to death in the safest environment possible? First off, due to the extremely close physical contact with one another, it is vital, read should be mandatory, that grapplers practice good hygiene. Wear deodorant and keep your nails trim, including toenails. Always wash your training gear after use. Don't let it fester for more than a couple of days, and never reuse gear if it hasn't been washed. Wash everything, including your damn belt. You're not going to lose some magic from it. It is also highly recommended that you shower as quickly as possible after training. Practice good hygiene in common areas as well, meaning the use of indoor-only flip-flops is recommended for showers and bathrooms. If you're going to your first class, bring athletic attire such as shorts, ideally without pockets, and a shirt that wicks away sweat like the popular brand Under Armour. Clean t-shirts, while classic, run the risk of either getting torn or causing someone's fingers or toes to get stuck. If attending a gi class, they may have gis to loan or occasionally rent, or they might just let you get away with the aforementioned no gi attire. Gyms have different opening and closing routines. It is quite common to bow when entering and leaving the mat space or dojo, and to line up according to rank. If you're new, you're either at the end of the line or at the very back. Some gyms bow to the instructor before and at the end of the class. When class itself begins, there will often be a vigorous warm-up. Participate, but don't feel the need to keep pace if you're out of shape or you won't actually have the fitness to experience the class itself. Once this is complete, it is common to be taught a set of techniques or an overall concept, which will then be rote drilled with a partner. This is often followed up by resistance sparring of the techniques with set parameters and varying intensity. This is usually followed by timed matches, or what most grapplers refer to as rolling. Some people really want to roll in their first class, but you honestly shouldn't feel pressured to if you're unfamiliar with what is happening. Watch more experienced players and gain a feel for how things are done. You wouldn't be expected to enter a boxing ring having just learned to wrap your hands and hit a mitt, and it's really bizarre how newer grapplers are either pressured or flummoxed at the idea that they're not ready to participate safely in free rolling. Under most sports rules, submission grappling starts on the feet, and meaningful contact must be made before either athlete can make the decision to pull, guard, or take the bottom position. Of course, not everyone prefers to be on the bottom, and if both participants elect to stay standing, a non-striking struggle ensues until someone is taken down or the match ends. In point-scoring contests, a takedown against the competitor's will can result in points earned, which is typically 2 points. In the gym, a rolling match might begin with one person just starting on bottom due to space constraints or specific training goals. Regardless, when a submission grappling contest begins, the goal is to submit your opponent with a variety of joint locks and strangles or chokes, which is the term most often used. Due to safety concerns and agreed upon rules of engagement, specific submissions might be banned based on the experience and preferences of the players. It is vital that all participants use honest communication when applying and defending submissions. Always tap when in danger or simply unfamiliar with what's happening, using urgent, clear signals either verbally and or by physically tapping the person or the mat. False taps and egos create an unsafe training environment. Universally, small joint manipulation, or the prying of individual fingers, is outlawed, and players are encouraged to grab at least 3 to 4 fingers at a time when grip fighting. Twisting leg attacks are often frowned upon against newer players due to safety concerns, and often outright banned due to hysterics. But in all honesty, all twisting joint attacks are inherently more dangerous, and it's vital to tap when in danger. Smothering the eyes, mouth, and nose of another person is often considered questionable etiquette. In turn, the latter two might become a moot strategy in a real-life scenario where biting is allowed. Since this is a grappling sport, strikes, bites, and butts of the head variety are prohibited, and players are asked to be mindful of where their elbows, knees, and heads are moving to avoid damaging blows, especially to sensitive areas of the body like the mouth and groin. Dental bills are expensive, and it's highly encouraged that players wear a mouth guard because accidents and clumsy spazzes are a reality. Slamming another player to the ground from an elevated position is also generally frowned upon in most non-professional rule sets, although oftentimes the vulnerable airborne player could very well have returned to ground under their own reconnaissance had they chosen to do so. The use of athletic cups or jocks is debatable, as they can unfairly dig into the lower back when attacking the back, or tickle the tenders of a player in mount. Although the ultimate goal is submission, grapplers may also receive points for achieving dominant positions under point-based rules. Unlike wrestling, judo, or sambo, there are multiple potential pins in submission grappling to both the upper and lower body, but only upper body pins are typically rewarded with points. Pins are a form of immobilizing control that increase the odds of submission, hence the jiu-jitsu expression position before submission. Before and after a match or submission, slap hands and fists bumped if so inclined, and prepare for the next battle. If you submit someone, try and act like you've been there before, and don't be a gloating tool, unless you're good friends and playful goading is highly encouraged. And if you get submitted, let it spark curiosity and the desire to learn why it happened. Getting mad and making excuses only means you're that much closer to being a quitter. And you're probably a douche nozzle in real life. The end of class usually features a zipper line where you shake hands with everyone in the class, often in order of rank and led by the most senior. At Grapple U, we like the idea of belt blindness and treat things more like a sport. We make a circle and people stand where they are regardless of rank. We don't bow to pictures of Helio or make people wear our brand of clothing. We've kept the zipper line though. It's kind of nice. And just as a final word of advice to newer grapplers, a gym with integrity will never try to upsell you a membership or insist that you buy a $180 gi with their patch on it on day one. If you choose to do so down the road, that's on you, but there are much cheaper gis out there and gyms that don't expect you to sign a long-term contract right from the start. Having said that, this is a sport and you do require equipment. You wouldn't show up to a boxing class without gloves, so invest in proper long-term attire if you plan on learning this wonderful sport, and that often means lots of stretchy shirts and pants, but don't be this weirdo in whatever it is he's wearing. Stupid sexy Flanders. And hey, why not end things with some cathartic footage of me tying a belt? Yes, I still remember.